Good morning, guys. If we accept the idea that we are the programmers and that we can write the program, the final part of it is to live and run the program. Run the program, the new program of your mind, the current program that you are creating, the one where you know that you can be better than you were yesterday or than you were a second ago. And it is a process. It is a tough battle. But if you commit to it and if you live it and run the program that you write down and create for yourself, you are going to see incredible changes. And I want you to know that you're going to get challenged each and every moment. There are going to be voices in your head that are telling you you can't do this, that you can't continue on, you're going to lose. You have to stand up and fight those voices every single day by living that new program. And eventually, it will become natural. Have a great day, everyone.
Vera Wang made her first wedding dress at 40. Rodney Dangerfield had his break in stand-up at 46. Julia Child's first cookbook was at 49. Sam Walton opened his first Walmart at 44. Ray Kroc's first McDonald's came at 50. Duncan Hines introduced his cakes at 73. It's never too late. And I put this up as I realize that I am embarking myself on the second half of my life. And when I think about my legacy, the way that I want to be remembered at my funeral, or the way that I hope people might raise a glass and toast me at my 70th birthday party, as much as I had a very successful career in entertainment for 20, 25 years, what I hope is that the things they're saying about me at the end of my life don't even mention the career that I had before I started pursuing my calling. Right? Whoever needs to hear this today, that thing that's been on your heart, the passion, the intuition whispering over and over that maybe you ought to step in and get a little bit closer to the reason why you've been placed on this planet, don't let that voice in your head try and talk you out of chasing it because of the worry that maybe your time has come and gone. There are so many examples, these ones I've just referred to, and countless others, where people followed that intuition. They paid attention to that call from something greater than themselves, and after they'd lived half their life ended up defining what their legacy would be in the second half act. I don't know what your calling is, but don't let the worry of maybe too much time having passed stop you from chasing after it. At the end of my life, when people have come together to celebrate the impact that I've had on theirs, at 46 years old today, I can tell you, every single thing they're going to talk about hasn't happened yet.
It's never too late to get started. It's never too late to say yes. It's never too late to start to chase down your dreams, the thing that you got inside you. It's never too late. We create these stories for ourselves as I am too old to get started. I am too X, like fill in the blank of whatever excuse you've got for not taking action. It's just a story. You're just afraid. And the only thing you're missing is momentum. It's never too late. I remember when I started my business, I thought I was too young, you know? I was 19 years old. I was selling to people who were experts in science, and I sucked at science. And they were 2 to 3 times my age and had PhDs, and I thought I was too young. They'd never take me seriously. And that was one of the things that really held back the growth of my business, was just my limiting belief that I was too young. And I talk to people all the time, and you have people who say they're too young, and then instantly they become too old. It's like, well, when are you ever the right age? You know, you're too young to do it, then you're too old to do it. When were you actually ever the right age? When have you ever said, you know what? I'm the right age to do this thing. Right? We never do that. It's always just the fear talking. And so you have to step up. You have to step out. You have to say yes. And you have to get started. People ask me all the time, is it too late to get started on YouTube? I was at a conference I was speaking at this weekend, and is it too late, Evan? Did I miss the boat? Are you kidding me? First off, YouTube is growing like crazy. Second, the education on YouTube is still pretty low. There's so many people going, and there's still so few people who are creating good quality education. Look at whatever field you're in, it's probably even less. And third, even if YouTube does go away at some point, there's gonna be something else. People's attention is not going offline anytime soon. It's only gonna increase. If YouTube goes away, something else will come up, and your ability to speak a message to a camera is a skill set that will serve you for life. Of course it's not too late. It's just your fear talking. Your big dreams and big goals and big ambitions are possible. There's so few worlds where it actually is too late, right? And like if you're 70 years old and you want to play, you know, in the NBA, athletics is the easy one to go to, then it's too late. You know, you're not going to be a professional NBA player. Sorry. But could you be involved in the world of? Could you start a great podcast around it, a YouTube channel around it, or be an agent, or like infinite number of things in that world? Of course. And chances are most of your goals, dreams, things that you want to do are not tied to anything physical where there's going to be a significant decline, right? Like what do you want to do? What are your goals? It's people who have done it at a much older age than you. So how do we unlock it? How do we start to make that momentum actually happen in your life? Step number 1, get really clear on what you want. What do you want? What are your goals? What do you want to do? What's the voice inside your head that is telling you, I wish I could do this thing. I really want to do this thing, right? Like getting really clear, because I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, and you know that you're capable of more, and you know you want to have a bigger impact, and you know that you don't want to stay stuck here, but you don't know what the thing looks like. You know, it's not as clear of what you want to do. You just know that you're stuck and you're capable of more. Well, you definitely don't have the whole thing planned out, but what's the next step? Just getting clear on what you want the next step to be can make a big difference, because it gives you some clarity. Whether it's even the perfect, I mean, it's not going to be the perfect step. Don't worry about being the perfect step. It probably won't be the right step. It's a step. And in taking a step, you learn a lot, and you make a lot of mistakes. You make a ton of mistakes, and you figure things out. I remember when I first got my phone, I was recording, and I did this video, and I was so proud of the video. And then I realized I captured the whole thing in slow motion mode. It's just like, the audio was terrible. You can't use it. I couldn't use it. Like, oh, it was so good. What? Come on. Slow motion mode. You're gonna make mistakes at the beginning. That's okay. But what's the next step? Getting some clarity over what that next step should be is really important. Part 2 is then go get some heroes. It could be a mentor who you can actually talk to and learn from, but heroes. And when I say heroes, I mean people who've done the thing that you want to do. Whenever I feel less than, whenever I feel like I can't do it, whenever I feel not good enough, I look to people who have done it, and I realize that they have done it with less resources, less money, less time, less skills than what I have right now. Your heroes, the people who you love, look up to, respect the most, they did it. They accomplished with less than what you have right now. And if they can do it, you can do it too. And the whole point of that is a push to start taking action. It's not to say, oh, well, I suck, I can never be Oprah Winfrey or whoever. Go look at Oprah's story and see where she came from and see how poor she was and see what her upbringing was. Imagine being Oprah. Imagine having a terrible upbringing, being raped early on, having tons of violence in the family, bouncing from home to home, being so poor that she couldn't afford clothes and her grandmother would sew a dress for her out of a potato bag. Like imagine you're going to school in a potato bag that your grandmother sewed together because you didn't have enough money to actually get real clothes. Can you imagine? How bad is your life compared to that? How bad was your upbringing compared to that? Right? To go from where she started to where she's at. What's your excuse? And again, it's not meant to be a negative, like, oh, you're right, I'm so hard on myself, I suck. No, it's more like, well, that's what's possible. As soon as you get over the story, you're telling yourself that's what's possible. If she could do it from that upbringing, why can't you? Why can't I? And anytime I feel like I can't do it, that's what I default back to. It's like, look at your heroes. Look at where they started. Look at where they came from. And chances are your heroes already started with less than what you already have right now. And so surrounding yourself with them can give you the hope and the feeling like it is possible. If you feel like you're too old for something, then surround yourself with entrepreneurs who are way older than you. Look at people who have started, and they started, I don't know how old you are. You know, people say, I'm 24 years old. Is it too late to get started? But on every age, people feel it's too late. So surround yourself with the stories of people who started when they were older. It gives you the inspiration to go, to make, to create. And then number 3 is come back to service. Think about service. Think about who you're doing this for. This is bigger than you. It's not just about you. It's about who you're going to help. Whenever it's just about you, whenever you're doing something for just selfish reasons, you'll never put in the same amount of work as if you feel like you're responsible to somebody else. This is where a lot of entrepreneurs struggle in starting their own business, because when you had a job, you had a boss, and your boss would tell you what to do. If you didn't show up to a meeting, you'd be in trouble. So you'd show up for other people, but you don't show up for yourself. We just won't show up for ourselves as much as we'll show up for other people. So the way to hack it is to feel like what you're doing is actually serving other people. And if you're in entrepreneur land, you can think about the customers you're going to serve, the people who will consume your content or buy your products or service, and the life-changing impact that you're going to have, and feel it and connect to that. If you don't have a business yet, or that's not your ambition, just think about your message to your kids. Think about the message to your family. Think about the message to the people around you. Is your message to your kids, current or future, you know what? It's too late. When you get an idea, just tell yourself that you can't do it. Is that going to be your message to your kid? Of course not. But it's your message to yourself. And the people closest to you will model much more what you do, your actions, your beliefs, more than what you say. You could tell them, believe in yourself. It's not too late. Go ahead, go do it. You can make this happen. But when they see you sitting on the sidelines, telling yourself that you're too old and you can't do it, that's the behavior they're going to model. So if you're not going to do it for yourself, if that's not enough of a oomph to get you out of the bed and actually creating your thing, then think about who you're serving today. Think about the people you're going to help. People who, by you showing up, is going to have an impact on their lives. It's not too late to start. It's never too late to start. Your life could be so different If you woke up and started doing the thing that was in your heart, it's not going to work out at the beginning. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of laughs. You're going to have a lot of struggles as you get going. But holy cow, your life can be dramatically different 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from today. If you just decided, you know what? I'm just tired of staying stuck. I'm tired of coming up with excuses. I'm tired of playing small. It's time. I need this for myself. I need this for my family. I need this for the people who I'm going to serve and help. It's time. It's time. It's your time. Let's see what you can make.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Now I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1,000,000 deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, out of dinner, Molly, Virgo, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coupe, the dip on top of the roof, flexing on as hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though, got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this shit like cardio. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars. Beat it up like piñata. Turn the drops, close the curtains. Bad chicks make you nervous.
Chambean, chambean, pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jolambo, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el Latino gang. Yeah, está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen ni en plaza. El diablo me llama, pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricua, me gustan cubana. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve la dominicana. Lo rico que me chingue la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico, pim, pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibido amar, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars. Beat it up like piñata. Turn the drops, close the curtains. Bad chicks make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo. Que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi tele y Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Paparazzi, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de Billboard tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testa rosa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that. I'm the district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow a brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? Yeah.
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now. Your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe. Your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time. Good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another great day, wherever we are. Today for myself, I'm indoors. Maybe you yourself are indoors as well too. Wherever you are, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period we've ever had. It may not be exactly where we want to be. We may not be in school or at work where we really want to be, but wherever we are right now, let's do this to the best of our ability. Here we go, determination, here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot for 1 minute. Ready, and go. And as always, we're thinking about our breathing, focused on our breathing. Feeling that power of us always being able to control our breath. Even when our heart starts beating faster, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through something stressful, something maybe we might be afraid of or we don't like. We get to control our breathing. The same way we get to control our thoughts. And our thoughts affect our feelings. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our feelings. Almost there, everyone, almost there. Keep going. Keep going, determination, keep going. And stop. All right. You can walk on the spot, or you can walk side to side as you recover your breathing. Always feeling that power of you controlling your breathing. This is the best. What we have right now, wherever you are, you've got your mind and your body in the gym of life. And you get to be your best right now on whatever stretches, exercises we're about to do together. Here we go. Here we go, determination. That's why I love gym. Gym is the best. Grow your mind in the gym of life. Here we go. Let's do 10 shoulder rolls forward. Ready, everyone? Here we go. The best 10 shoulder rolls forward ever. Still controlling our breathing. Shoulders all the way up and around as high as we can towards our ears. And backwards. Again, feel the power of you controlling your body right now. In these simple movements, simple motions, you get to control your body. The way you control your mind, same way. Alright, and let's do arm circles forward, everyone. Arm circles forward, 10 big ones forward. Feeling the joy of our arms moving through space. Alright, and backwards. Excellent. All right, everyone, let's put our hands on our hips, bend the knees, and side stretch. There we go. 5 on each side. All right, and let's twist our bodies. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor. 5 on each side. Really thinking about what we're doing. Really trying to feel every part of our body as it's moving in space. Alright, good. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go. 5 push-ups. Best 5 push-ups. Again, if you got to keep your knees on the ground, that's okay. Just do your best, always. And 5 sit-ups. Excellent. And standing up. 5 squats. Here we go. Body straight ahead, looking straight ahead. All the way down. All the way up. Alright. Let's do 3 lunges on each side. Here we go. Arms out. Still controlling our breathing. Alright, and let's do a 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Again, feeling the joy of you pushing your body a little bit outside its comfort zone. Because you know that's where the growth is. Alright, everyone, and standing up. Reach for the ceiling on your toes. Or the sky if you're outdoors. Today I happen to be indoors. If you are outdoors, reach for that sky. If you're indoors, reaching for that ceiling. We may not touch it yet, or ever, but we're going to reach, we're going to strive, just like we do in life, no matter what. Okay, now reach for your toes. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, but keep your knees straight. reaching for your toes. Feeling the pull in the back of your leg. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. All right, come on up and let's balance. Grab one leg, find that balance, bend the other knee. Well done, everyone. Keep going. Keep thinking about what you're doing right now. And switch. Again, feel the pull on the front of the thigh. Bend the other leg. Find that balance. If you lose it, just try to work hard to get it back and then hold it there. Excellent. All right, now let's hug our knee. Here we go, all the way up. And try to steady that other foot on the ground. Bend the knee if you have to and pull all the way up. Hold it for 10. Always working hard to find that balance. Where we balance our thoughts, our mind, balance our bodies, wherever we are in space. All right, and switch. Just always think of safety too. Make sure you have enough space, clearance around you, in case you do lose your balance. Hold it there. Well done. Okay, good. And let's sit down, everybody. And reaching for our toes, straight knees again. Reaching is what matters. If you don't get to your toes, that's okay as long as you're reaching. Feeling the pull on the back of your legs. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Okay, V shape with your legs. Now reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, now reach for one side and hold it there again. Always thinking about the moment, thinking about what we're doing right now. Experiencing the joy of being able to reach for something to help our bodies get better. And switch the other side. See, you can do this almost anytime, any place. You can work on your mind and your body wherever you go in life, in everything you do, not just in exercise and stretches. All right, here we go. And let's do feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10 seconds. If you feel your breathing going on autopilot or becoming automatic again, take control of that. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. One leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there. 10 seconds. And switch to the other side. Knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Always remembering that you are the boss of your mind, and your mind is the boss of your body. That makes you the big boss. You get to control yourself. You get to use your determination no matter what. All right. And let's roll onto our bellies and push the floor. Looking up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feeling that nice stretch in our lower back, neck, back of our arms. All right, and legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Taking deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, activating that third eye, that mind's eye that we all have. We can't see it, but we know it's there. So use your mind's eye right now to see yourself doing the best you can today when that music goes on whatever 2 exercises, stretches you've chosen to do. For me, today I'm going to be holding the push-up position for one song, the first song, And then I'm going to be holding the squat position for the second song as long as I can. And if I happen to let go or not be able to hold it, I'm going to continue on until that song's over. What about you? You can put on your own 2 songs today, and you can do your own exercises. But think about which exercises you're going to do right now, safely within the space you have. You can do what I'm doing, you can listen to what I'm listening to, or you can choose your own. But whatever you do, determine right now, see in your mind what you will do when that music goes on. All right, determination, here I go, holding the push-up position. And let's go, whatever you're doing, whatever you've decided, let's see it. Let's see your best. Here we go together. Let's go, determination, let's go. Looking forward to being better than we were last time, a little bit more than last time. See if I can hold it for the whole song, let's see. Wasn't able to do it last time we did this together. It was the last time I did it on my own, but I'm going to work at it right now. Because I love the process of trying to get better at something. Whether it's building strength in my body, building strength in my mind, working on creating nothing but positive images, thoughts, visions in my mind, working on being the best human being I can be. What about you? What is it for you? Whatever it is, just enjoy the process of learning, growing together, whatever we're doing. And sometimes we're going to feel that discomfort. Like right now, I can already feel my muscles already uncomfortable. But then I can feel my determination saying, I get to determine whether I'm going to stop or keep going, no matter what. You too, let's go, determination, let's go. Alright. Didn't get through the whole song, but I'm gonna get right back at it again. Song's not over, gotta keep going. There we go, shaking it up. Not being mad that we didn't get to where we want to be yet, but feeling happy that we get to go at it again. Here we go. Always thinking about our breathing. Always thinking about finishing strong, no matter what. Always going right to the end, finishing what we set out to do, no matter what. Got more in me. I know I got a little bit more. We gotta keep going. You too, whatever you're doing, keep going. Determination, keep going. Let's go. It's not over yet. The song's still playing. Focus on that breathing. Good air in. Bad air out. There we go. Another round. I love it. I love the process of building our true great self through exercising our bodies and our minds together. Oh, that's the next song. All right. Time for some squats. Holding the squat position. What about you? What are you going to do next? Let's go. Determination. Here we go. Ready? All right. If you're doing what I'm doing, just try to keep your feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead, going as far down as you can, your bottom towards the ground, and holding it there. as long as you can, until that music's done. Because our music, you know the truth. Our music's never done. Our energy, our determination is built to last, to get through anything. Let's go, determination. Let's go. If you're sweating, that's good. Feel your body releasing some of that fluid, some of that old fluid. Water. Make sure you drink lots of water when we're done. Make sure you always fill your body with good food. All right. And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. Where it all begins and never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. That we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings. But it takes a lot of hard work. It takes, first of all, believing that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, your mind health, your chance at mind wealth is not possible. But that's not the way it was meant to be. You were born to win. Control over your mind, your thoughts. To have and be all you were meant to be. And that means believing 100% in who you really are. And that is the key to your mind health and your mind wealth, your happiness, your freedom, your success, your infinite peace and love towards everything and anything. It's possible. It's all because of you, your determination, united with all of our determination, creates that oneness, that consciousness, determination. And that's why I love you, determination, wherever you are. I miss you, I miss being in your presence, but here today, we united. We enjoyed this process fully. And the way we do or did this is the same way we can do anything, including being the best for all those around us, wherever we are right now. So keep going, determination. Keep working on controlling your mind. Because that's for all your health, mind health, your happiness, your freedom, all your love that can never be taken away. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Until the next time.
People say to me, hey, I missed my meditation today, like I'm supposed to go like this or something.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and like Joe Dispenza says,
Most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else.
so let's help you become the person you want to be with Dr. Joe Dispenza and my take on his top 10 rules of success.
Good morning.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 with Believe Nation.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Observe your thoughts.
You think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. Out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you think in one day, 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before. So if you believe that your thoughts somehow are connected to your life, then the same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the same experiences, and the same experiences produce the same emotions. And those very same emotions drive the very same thoughts. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your neurohormones, and even your genetic expression is equal to how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, a new life, then you would have to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and change it. You would have to become aware of your unconscious thoughts and observe them. You would have to pay attention to your automatic habits and behaviors and modify them. And you would have to look at the emotions you live by every single day that are connected to your past and decide if those emotions belong in your future. You see, most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else.
Rule number 2, overcome fear.
In December 2008, legendary investor
I believe in free will.
Yeah.
I would never tell anybody what to believe, like politically or socially or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to provide them the tools and give them the free will to create life however they want and believe whatever they want. That's totally cool with me.
Mm-hmm.
So those people then that want to be healed and they live in fear, that fear has to be addressed. I mean, and it's not easy because it's hardwired deep in the limbic brain. It's just a safety net. It's a mechanism. So then imagine being in the unknown. The instinct in the unknown is it's a scary place. Wow, imagine not having a body. And we practice lingering without a body in an infinite space, and without a name, without a face, without a culture, without a job, without a social security number, without a disease, without a diet, just as an awareness. You practice that. You're going to be comfortable in the unknown. You're going to relax more into it. That's going against thousands of years of programming. And the people who actually overcome their fear and they trade it for gratitude, their immune system gets stronger, their genes upregulate. I mean, there's just a host of everything changes. Their brain changes, their heart rate variability. They feel differently, and it's being measured. And some of these people, we're measuring this now in our events with reputable scientists and universities. They're shocked at what they're witnessing on a cellular level, on a brain level, on a heart level. They cannot believe the capacity of the body. I just got an email today of one of our scientists said, I ran this 3 times. The virus that we expose the cell to in advanced meditators does not enter the cell. It's outside the cell. It won't. A virus in novice meditators, some of it's in the cell, some of it's outside. Controls all the viruses in the cell. There's an immunity. So when the person's less reactionary to their environment, there's less of response that weakens them, they're less of a victim to their environment, then they're less of a victim to their environment. Large scale, small scale, the body has a greater immunity to whatever it is.
Rule number 3, get beyond yourself.
Bond University, university in Australia on the Gold Coast, senior researcher took the large majority of my brain scans, and she had them analyzed by her graduate students, and they statistically looked at everything. One of the most startling things for the research team was our community's ability to get to that point where there's nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, no time. Now I'm talking 4 seconds. I'm talking 5 seconds. I'm talking 9 seconds. Just give me a second. I know how to do this. They've practiced it enough times that the creative moment is when you get beyond yourself, when you dissociate from everything known in your material world. Turns out when you do that and you start changing your brainwaves slow down into alpha and theta, you're suppressing the memory bank of the known self that keeps you plugged into 3-dimensional reality. When you quiet down this mechanism, now all of a sudden you start connecting to that field. And when you can stay conscious in those subconscious realms, when you can literally regulate and change brainwaves, now you're in the operating system where you can make those significant changes.
Rule number 4, don't wear trauma.
Sleep is the elixir of life. But
here's the deal with trauma, and it's kind of an interesting thing, because when you're traumatized, some threat or some danger or some condition in your outer world, through your senses, is changing how you feel in your inner world. And the quotient of change between the way you normally feel in some alarm state, when you change your internal state and move into that emergency mode, you narrow your focus on the cause, and the brain freezes an image and takes a snapshot, and that's called a long-term memory. And now that image is branded holographically into the brain. So then we remember experiences better because we can remember how they feel, and that memory then changes the person's biology. So they think neurologically within the circuits of that experience, and they feel chemically within the boundaries of those emotions, and how we think and feel becomes our state of being. So now the person biologically is changed, and many times it's the strong emotion that begins to select and instruct the gene that creates disease. Why? Because if the environment signals the gene, and that's a truth, that's epigenetics, and the end product of an experience in the environment is an emotion, the emotion that you feel from that event is literally selecting the gene for you to begin to change. And the genes make proteins. And so the person, if it's strong enough, begins to wear their trauma, not just in their brain. Now it's in their body, because every time they think about that trauma, every time they review it, every time they keep creating the imagery, they keep firing and wiring the circuits in their brain, and they keep feeling the feeling emotionally in their body. And their body is so objective that it's believing it's living in the same past experience 50 to 100 times a day. And all you need is a stimulus and a response, an image and an emotion, a thought and a feeling, and you're conditioning the body into the past. Well, you're conditioning the brain and body into the past.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, be aware of your environment.
Why is our memory for pain stronger than our memory of a success or a joy?
I really think that when the survival gene is activated, preservation is the key. So we can have 10 things that happen really great in our lives. You have a family member or somebody you know that does this. They have 10 really great things happen in their one thing bad, and they focus on that bad thing. Why? Because the survival gene is activated. They want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So you put your attention on it because you don't want it to happen again. So what people do when they're aroused is they start thinking it's going to happen. And so they actually select the worst case scenario in their mind and then emotionally embrace that future before it happens. And they're conditioning their body become the mind of anxiety and fear. So in preservation and in survival, if you prepare for the worst, anything less that happens, you have a better chance of surviving. So that's the mechanism that takes place. So survival means you better take care of your body.
Yeah.
You better be aware of your environment and make sure there's no threats. And so you got to keep your eye out there. And you better be thinking about the future based on what you learned in the past. Now, there's nothing wrong with that when the analytical facilities are in balance. But when there's an arousal, there's three things that create arousal: fear, hostility and anger or aggression, and pain. And that arousal drives the brain into these high states of what we call high beta. And most people need something or someone or some circumstance or some drug or some pill or some computer game to change that internal state. And the moment they notice a change in their internal state, then they pay attention to what's causing it. And they start developing a dependency on it, right? So it turns out that when we teach people how to self-regulate and change their brainwaves, we could actually see then that the incoherence, the disorderliness that's taking place in the brain, when you're over-aroused, you're overly analytical, and you're shifting your attention from one problem to one person to one thing to one place to another problem to another circumstance to your phone to your car. And each one of those elements has a neurological network in the brain. So the arousal causes these different circuits to fire out of order, and the brain is incoherent. So take two waves that are out of phase and mix them. When they interfere, they flatten out. There's no energy. So energy leaves the brain, right? So then when you're in arousal, you narrow your focus on the cause. If there's something rattling in the bushes and it's dark, you freeze and you narrow your focus on it, and there's a rush of adrenaline, and your pupils dilate and your heart starts to race, and you're ready to run, fight, or hide. I mean, that's a survival moment. But what if it's your coworker sitting right next to you or 6 feet away, and you're judging them? The same arousal's taking place. And what's once very adaptive becomes very maladaptive. And this is where it gets challenging. So when we teach people how to open their focus, we've done thousands and thousands of brain scans, and they get beyond their analytical processes, and they open their awareness and go from a convergent focus to a divergent focus, and they learn how to relax and regulate. Their brain waves start to slow down into alpha. And then if they do it properly and they're connecting, those different compartments of the brain that were once firing out of order start to unify. Different communities form bigger communities. The brain starts to synchronize. And then all of a sudden you start seeing different compartments of the brain all in resonance. So now when they're all in resonance and they start interfering, when those waves come together, there's more energy in the brain. So when a person dials down the mechanism, this neocortex that plugs us into three-dimensional reality, that keeps us aware of our body, that's the autobiographical self, where everything's stitched in memory in there. When we start deactivating the mechanism here, and we get beyond the memory bank of the known self, and brainwaves move into theta, we've studied this so much. When a person can let their body be in a light state of sleep and feel so safe that you can finally let go and surrender. The body is sleeping, but the mind is awake. And now the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is wide open. And if they can regulate and stay there, something amazing happens. There is a release of energy from the body, and their brain goes into a very, very super coherent state of gamma. And gamma is super consciousness. Now, I'm not talking about a little gamma. I'm not talking about a lot of gamma. I'm not talking about a really lot of gamma. I'm talking about a supernatural amount of gamma. There's so much order and so much energy in the brain. Like if we were in an audience and we were all clapping like this, that could be alpha, right? Theta would be, And if everybody could do this, the slower we could do it, the more we can get our timing down, the more we can get coherent. But if we were doing this, it would be really hard for all of us to do that at the same time. So it takes a lot of order, a lot of awareness, a lot of energy to be able to create that kind of order. So that's how fast the brain is, and that arousal that's taking place is ecstasy. That arousal is bliss. It is the most familiar, unfamiliar feeling that people ever have. And that memory then that the person has that is so profoundly different than the feeling of success, the feeling of wealth, the feeling of orgasm or love or whatever. This is a new one, and it's a thrill. And the person notices a dramatic change in their inner state. And with that experience comes a very lucid picture, a very profound insight, a download of information. That's the moment then the body many times rewrites the biological program. Energy is informing matter, and the autonomic nervous system is regulating. It's in high order. And remember, disease is autonomic dysregulation. Now it's getting into a very, very high frequency of order, and it's sending very coherent information to the cells and tissues, sending energy to the cells and tissues, and cells begin to emit more coherent light and information. And then there's the disease, and there it's not.
Rule number 6, rise above negativity.
If you're a woman who owns a business, then you need a virtual assistant. And not just any virtual assistant.
The recognition that when you're assimilating a negative thought or a negative judgment or a negative emotion, envy, greed, whatever it may be, that's actually lowering your energy.
Yeah.
And when you get to that place where you're experiencing that incredible bliss right here, you can't. Yeah. And even if you have the thought, and the thought will still come because we still have those thoughts.
But the thought will be an understanding of human nature, because you're no longer at that vibrational level any longer. You're rising above it, you know? And I think more and more people are starting to figure that out. And the people in their lives are like, no, my husband is a changed person. No, he's not the same guy. I know him. I know he's completely different. And the guy's just like, I feel amazing. I feel great. And all it was sitting in the fire for a little bit of time until the body finally moved out of the past into the present moment. And so the causes of this, like I always say, you never know what you're doing today and how you're doing it, who you're going to affect tomorrow when you do this work. And that's what we're seeing. And people are, they're getting promotions. They're getting all these wonderful things, not because of anything that they're doing. They're just different. And people notice that, and they want those people in the position to make better decisions for the whole. And I think that's how we change the world.
Rule number 7, overcome yourself.
In our community, at least, people who have relationships that are built from our community tend to be more long-lasting because they're more self-aware. And so there's no blame, there's no excuses, there's no make wrong, there's no competition, there's none of that. There's just, this is who I am, you know? And I think that the ultimate goal is when you reach the point in your life when how you appear to the world is who you really are, that level of transparency it takes no effort. You can be yourself, and you know, people say to me, wow, you're pretty approachable. And I say, well, God, I work so hard every day on overcoming myself in the morning, overcoming my ego. Why would I want to build it up the next day? Because I got to face that guy again tomorrow morning. So why not just keep, you know, taking those edges and smoothing them down so that you're less unconscious to all of those programs that are built in relationships.
Rule number 8, get the right signals.
You asked is it possible then that people can heal that quickly in 1 week? Yeah, because what if they create an inner event that carries an amplitude of gratitude or joy or freedom? Break through from the chains of the past. And when the body is liberated and you feel that elevated emotion, the stronger the emotion you feel from that breakthrough, the more you're going to pay attention to the image in your mind. And now you're now beginning to brand new circuitry in the brain, and your body's being conditioned into a new future. And the stronger the emotion you feel, and the more you pay attention to the picture, the more you're conditioning the body over time to the future instead of the past. So now you keep knocking on that genetic door emotionally, then that emotion ultimately signals a new gene that upregulates that gene to produce better proteins. And the person then all of a sudden starts healing. And we have research to show that people can do that in 4 days, signal genes to reduce cancer cells and growth, to signal stem cells to suppress, to go to active tissues and repair them and regenerate them and suppress inflammation. You come with a lot of genes, and they're just a library of potentials. They're just a storehouse of information, of possibilities. So then you got to get the right signal, the right lock into the key that begins to select and instruct genes that cause genes to make different proteins. And you can regulate so many different genes, the same genes, you can regulate them differently. So when they upregulate, they start producing really healthy and robust proteins. And that's enzymes, that's tissue, that's structure, that's function, that's hormones. It's immunoglobulins. When they downregulate because of some alarm, when there's not a lot of energy for long-term building projects, well, then you keep doing that. Then the body starts producing cheaper proteins. It's a different signal. It's not a time for growth.
Rule number 9, connect to divinity.
When you hit pay dirt like that, when you connect to the field, when you connect to the divine, whatever you want to call it, when your consciousness merges with a greater consciousness, and that arousal creates ecstasy, bliss, oneness, whatever you want to call that, you realize that it never came from anything out there. It didn't come from the wardrobe or the facelift, the sports car, or whatever. It came from within you. And so you stop looking out there for it. And now the love affair begins. And you never want to miss a date because it's just too good. So that memory then, that is what I'm after. Because when you have those transcendental moments and you understand this, the experience of that transcendental moment lays down new circuitry in the brain. That's what experience does. And the experience produces a feeling, but it's not chemical. It's electric and it's orderly, and every cell of your body is jiggling in an order. And you're aroused and you're awakened, right? You have to admit, when that occurs, your spectrum of reality is going to broaden. Some conditioning, some illusion, something is removed, and you start seeing reality as it is. And all of a sudden, you start seeing the part that we edit out for survival. Now you start seeing patterns and lights and information that are transcendent of three-dimensional reality and your spectrum. Why? Because your brain had the experience and the circuitry's there, and now your experience of the world changes. You get an upgrade to the VR set, to the virtual reality set. Oh, you got the upgrade, you got 2.0, and now it looks different. Everything looks different. Everybody looks different. The world, you're seeing beauty more. Well, and there's more holism and more connection, and sounds and words and music and sense and sight and light is all working together. That's the blessing of an awakening, right? That's where we're going.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is self-regulate.
What do you think the world humanities challenge will be over the next decade as we enter 2020?
Back to the principle, Lewis, of just different paradigms beginning to collapse. Economically, politically, socially, environmentally, religiously, education, journalism, medicine. They have to move into chaos. And chaos is just unpredictable.
Because they're not
order.
working.
Yeah, exactly. But now here's the challenge for humanity. You have one of two ways to embrace the breakdown of those paradigms. You can face them with anger and hostility and fear, and you are only contributing to more of it. We have to see that those breakdowns are essential for something greater to happen. Now, we can't wait for governments to take care of us. We can't wait for medicine to give us a drug that's going to heal us from a condition. The truth is, with a greater level of consciousness, the change in awareness because of information, The greatest challenge we have as those paradigms break down is to no longer emotionally react in the same way and be victims. You can't say, this president, this person, this whatever, is actually making me feel this way and think this way. Basically, you're in the program that something outside of you is controlling you, how you feel and how you think. So then to self-regulate then is to say how I think and feel is going to change my outer environment. So then we're all faced with great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. And we are at that point, at that nexus point in our evolution as a species. So then you don't try to fix that. That's never going to work. What you do is you create something better. And then everybody just naturally just leaves that and goes here. Now, it used to be some people would just come here and the majority would stay here because they're clinging to what they've been programmed or believe in. But now, because of information, everybody's like, that's not going to work. I already know it's not going to work, and I don't care what anybody says. This is working for me. So people are moving to new applications, to new paradigms because it's working for them. So as long as we don't emotionally react to the breakdown that's happening currently in the world, and chaos is just unpredictable order, you know, as things move towards disorder, the novelty that's being created is literally chaos. Because the known and everything staying the same is order. But as you step out into that unknown, you're having the chaos is unpredictable order being expressed through novelty. And we have to be able to learn how to take that disorder and with the application of brain and heart coherence, create more order. So you can't just say, hey, I'm standing up for peace and, you know, and being miserable with your coworker. You don't get to talk about peace until you're the living prayer of peace. Not just, we know crime rates go down and violence goes down when there's peace projects in communities where there's meditation on peace. But when those peace gathering projects end, you know, you see that crime and violence and everything returns back to the same level. So it's not enough to just think it. We got to demonstrate it. So if I'm demonstrating peace and you're demonstrating peace, somebody else, because of mirror neurons, is going to go, wow, that person's unpredictable. Wow, they're different. It's given me permission to do the same. So I think that ultimately moving into that state of being, you know, as human beings and creating unity, that, you know, you keep watching so many programs on television that talk you into prejudice, that talk you into separation, that talk you into fear, that talk you into violence, that talk you into war, deceit, negativity. You're not going to trust anybody. In fact, you're going to see difference between you and me or anybody because that's what separation does. But when your heart's centered and you feel connected, you don't see the person any longer, right? You see something transcendent them. You see an essence, right? And I think if you do that really well, that kind of emergence of a new consciousness that's less dependent on all of those outer things is really difficult to control. And if you want to control a community, control their emotions and control them in survival. When you overcome your emotions, you can see the hidden meaning behind all things. And when everybody's looking this way, you may be looking that way because you understand, look, you've just overcome your fear. You've just overcome your hostility and anger. You've overcome the program of whatever it is. I swear to you, you are going to be able to connect people. And that then is the hope of the future.